Hello and welcome to Straight Talk, Supply Chain Insights, the podcast for your supply chain leader who is on the go and wants to be in the know. And now, your host, Lora.
Today I have the great honor of interviewing Peter Gibbons, and Peter has a new job at a new business called Tire Hub. Peter, welcome to the show. Tell the group a little bit about yourself.
Laura, thank you so much. It's great to be part of your show. So I've been in supply chain for a long time. I spent about 20 years in the specialty chemical industry, most of that time running big supply chains. And then I graduated to Starbucks, where I ran their global supply chain until 2012. And then for about 5 years, I ran global operations and product development for Mattel, the toy company in California, and recently became the CEO, as you said, of Tire Hub, a new joint venture between Goodyear and Bridgestone.
Peter, I'd love to have you tell the audience a little bit about Tire Hub. I mean, I know some of it's confidential, but what can you share? What's the model? And when I talk to you, you're just so excited. Why are you so excited about this new venture?
Oh, there are so many things that get me excited about Tire Hub. First of all, we are a joint venture between Bridgestone and Goodyear, two huge and highly successful and storied tire companies. We are their wholesale distribution arm. They decided a while back that the multiple tiers of distribution in the tire industry weren't working for them quite the way they wanted to here in the US. And so they decided to pool their own wholesale distribution into one new company, which would become a national wholesale distributor of Goodyear and Bridgestone products to tire dealers across the United States. This is a unique opportunity, A, to be a CEO for a new company, B, to be a CEO for a joint venture with the complexities that come with any joint venture. And then finally, it's a chance to help Goodyear and Bridgestone make their business strategies successful. If we do our job well, it allows both those companies to get their products to consumers and drivers and dealers more effectively, to allow their brands to flourish and to help them grow and be more successful in the US tire market. So for me to get the chance to be the CEO of this new venture with all that brings was a chance I simply couldn't say no to.
Well, and you're so great to be able to do it. I love your leadership style. Now, when I think about those two companies, I think about competitors, and is that fair? I mean, is this competition?
One of the exciting things about this project was that Goodyear and Bridgestone are fierce competitors and have been for over 100 years. And we had to be very careful building out this joint venture to make sure that we were respecting all of the rules around competition law and ensuring that the Federal Trade Commission would give us the approval which they did back in the spring. Can you believe we had close to 1,000 people involved in this project, all of whom signed non-disclosure agreements and confidentiality agreements, and this project did not leak out. We managed to maintain confidentiality and secrecy with close to 1,000 people involved in building out the systems, the recruitment, the head office, the product programs, the customer programs. All of these things were being developed over many months in anticipation of us getting approval from the FTC and then going live in July of this year.
That's amazing. I mean, I know of very few times that people have been able to keep the veil of secrecy with that many people. But why did the two companies want to do it? I mean, because often people will talk about these concepts, but actually getting to it is a thing I don't see people doing that much. What caused this to happen?
So a bit of background. Over the last 10 or 12 years, the number of products, the number of SKUs in the consumer tire world has doubled. So the complexity of the product range has expanded significantly as wheels have got larger and wider, options on the profile of tires have become more varied, and car manufacturers, also manufacturers, have started to tune the tire they want on their car to the particular design and specification of the vehicle. So over about a dozen years, the complexity of the product range, changed enormously. That meant that tyre dealers, where you and I would go to get a new set of tyres, it became probably impossible for them to stock and inventory anything close to the product range that exists. So they became reliant on wholesale distributors, to make that bridge between the manufacturers of the tyres and the tyre dealer. And Bridgestone and Goodyear came to the conclusion at the same time that, roughly the same time, that their product ranges were not being represented and made available as effectively as they'd like, that they weren't able to access dealers and consumers in the way they wanted to in terms of product availability, service, speed, and allowing their brands to be represented the way they wanted them to. And the conclusion they came to was that controlling their own national distributor, setting up an independent company owned 50-50 by the two tyre manufacturers, that was a more effective way for them to be able to influence and take to the right place the distribution system that gets tyres to dealers and therefore to drivers and consumers.
Must have been really fun to redesign a new system. What kind of capabilities do you bring to these two competitors, and how did you make sure that you firewalled the data so that they got what they needed, but you didn't give away a competitor's data?
Yeah, building up to going live, we had project teams from both parents, as well as people like myself who were joining the company, and various consultants and attorneys and others, making sure the process constantly was being reviewed, that the firewalls were in place, that data was being respected, that people being seconded to the project were clear on their responsibilities. We would start every day with a legal briefing on the do's and don'ts of managing such a venture, and that meant we were able to keep information very well managed. And also, we made sure that leading up to go live, that information and data that wasn't necessary for the project teams to have was not made available. And now that we have gone live, we have a duty as an independently led company to ensure that we manage that pricing data, product data, customer data in the right way, and that we're only sharing to our two shareholders information that we're allowed to share with each of those. It sounds more difficult than it probably is now, but the seriousness of it is real. We have to take this very seriously as a joint venture between two well-established competitors.
So when you step back and you think about building new capabilities, because this started because of complexity and wanting data and wanting to better serve customers, how does the new model achieve those goals?
So there's a few things which TireHub as a company and a culture will be really focused on. And the first one is putting customer service as a distributor right at the core of everything we do. We're not a manufacturer, we don't make product, we don't design product, develop product. We are here as a merchant to make sure that we put the customer first. That's the dealers that are out there, the thousands and thousands of dealers out there. And so at the heart, number one, at the heart of what we do is a passion for fulfillment and customer service and being a partner to the dealers in our network. The second one is that we bring a very strong focus on problem solving. With it being a new product, with us being a new company, as you can imagine, we have a lot of stuff we to develop to go live, and we've got a lot of stuff still to develop in terms of our systems and capability and our go-to-market plans. And problem solving is going to be key to that, being able to get the right portfolio in each distribution center, having the right delivery mechanisms, the right routing systems for each of our distribution centers, making sure we have really good, accurate data and good BI tools so that we can mine customer data, demand data, supply, availability, and come up with more insights into how to best serve regional and local markets. And finally, S&OP. S&OP is something we launched in the second month of going live. We've had our second cycle now of S&OP, and I have to tell you, Laura, you'll be proud of this. For a company that's only 3 months old, our second SNOP meeting, we would have given it an 8 out of 10 compared to anything I've done elsewhere. We had a fabulous SNOP process kick-off, and while it's not perfect, that's going to be key for us to be able to, understand demand and provide the right supply from our network. So building out a great logistics system with high fulfillment levels, but centered around a customer attitude that we want to say yes to customers, we want to support our dealers, and we want to be the best business partner possible for them to grow their business. We believe if we do that, then we will grow and we will be successful.
Why do you think you were able to bring SNOP excellence to, 3 months, you're really in the middle of startup, yeah?
Yes, we are. So some of the people we hired, right, some of the people we brought in came with a passion for good service, good fulfillment, and understood intimately the role of SNOP in that. Our sales and marketing team that we hired from both Bridgestone and Goodyear and also from the outside all come with a strong understanding that having good data and having a real focus on getting the supply right for customers, and also just the tone we set all the way through building to go live. From day one, I've preached a message of there's going to be no silos, no walls between us. We're going to be one team. We're going to do things with the customer at the center. And so I think from day one, we created an atmosphere that allowed people to say, hey, whatever works best for us to fulfill our mission, that's what we should do. And I think we've managed to avoid some of the normal problems that you get in big companies just by being fresh and new and setting the right tone from day one.
Well, Peter, there are lots of supply chain leaders out there that dream about being a CEO. Congratulations. What have you learned in your tenure of, working in Starbucks and Mattel and now the CEO of the Tire Hub, a startup, that you can share with others?
So the two things that I've stressed probably daily since we started were, let's be a very transparent place to work. Let's be a place where everyone's comfortable putting challenges, opportunities, improvements on the table. So transparency, I've learned over lots of years in the chemical industry, at Starbucks, at Mattel, creating an atmosphere of being transparent, not being anxious about information and news, be it good or bad, is a powerful thing. And then creating a problem-solving culture, a culture where we say, hey, this is just the next thing to go solve. This is the next customer challenge to solve. This is the next operational challenge to solve, the next systems challenge to solve. And those are the two things I've stressed. Let's be highly transparent, and let's build a culture where we're not afraid of tackling problems, solving problems. And, as I look over my career, some of the best moments were when we rallied people around a common mission or objective and goal, and we did it in a way where there wasn't fear, that people brought their best game because they weren't anxious, they were embracing what we were being asked to do. And in this job, and it's a privilege to be a CEO, a privilege to be a leader, I have a chance to take all of that and put it into practice in what is a brand new, completely new company and a completely new opportunity.
Well, congratulations. Where do you think Tire Hub will be in a year or 2 years from now? What's the goal?
So I can't share numbers, but we would like to think that in a couple of years' time, to service and that Goodyear and Bridgestone are being more successful because of what we are doing. And the goal that goes alongside that is that people are also talking about how we've done it, the manner in which we've done it, the culture we've created, and that people are asking us about, tell us how you did that. Tell us not just what you did, but how you did it. There's 4 words that we have written in our building, in our office here, that we talk about frequently. We want our people to be approachable, relentless, adventurous, and speedy. If we're going to be a true force for good in the industry, if we're going to provide great partnership to customers and help grow the business, then we need to be approachable, we need to be relentless and never give up. You've got to have a sense of adventure to be in Tire Hub because it's all new, it's all uncharted territory, and it's an exciting and demanding place to be. And then whatever we do, we want to do it fast and be speedy. The people that we've brought here are embracing those values and words with great energy and passion, and if we keep driving the way we are in a couple of years' time, people will be talking about how we grew this business to be so successful, and probably more important to me, how we did it.
Well, and we'd love to have you back on the show and tell us about those reflections, and congratulations. So, Peter, I'm going to sign off now, but we're going to have you back after you've had some time to refine the model. Thank you for being on the show today. Until next time.
Thank you, Laura, and thanks for everything you do to champion supply chain and supply chain leaders.
Thank you.